Las Vegas Archers have been up here for 46 years at this site, and the club started in 1951 and originally started out as a club near the Gilcrease Orchards. We had a range out there, and they actually had a teepee that they built, and hence the emblem, the Las Vegas Archers emblem, it was actually a building that was built like that. It burned down in the mid-60s, but we had a range in Cougar Canyon, which is at the very end of Red Rock Loop. There's one place called Whispering Springs or something. It was actually, the road goes past that up to a canyon, and we had a range up there for about 10 years or so, and they moved us out and moved us up here because they wanted to make the conservation area up there. And so, but that was beautiful, red rocks and stuff like that. It was, but this range is beautiful, and we've got a lot of work done that we've done up here. Say there are, on the west side of the range, we have the hunter range, which is designated with the red sign, and there's actually 28 targets, starting with number 1, goes all the way to 28. It's on this side of the road. And on the other side of the road, on the east side of the road, is the field range, and it encompasses this, and it starts just to the right of the target barn and the bathrooms, and goes back up in there, circles around up on top of the hill, and drops down all the way down a canyon, and then comes back to right back to the clubhouse. And we actually have a total of 60 targets out there for our signature silver dollar shoot, which is usually held in the fall, but we've recently moved it to the spring, and unfortunately this spring we're done. We don't have, because of the corona situation, we weren't able to hold it. So we're going to wait till next year to hold that. And in the fall we'll hold some other type of a tournament. Now we have practice range. We have up to 80 yards back there, and there are some spots for some further distances. But back in the back is 3D animals. So 3D animals that we have ready to put out on the range. We have 15 that we've just recently repaired, and are going to put them out shortly as soon as I can get them out. Texting is the best way to get a hold of me. My number's on the website. And these are our 3D animals that we have. We just recently repaired them, trying to get them back to something that looks more like an animal. This is javelina, and we put it out on the range, trying to get this piece of rebar out of it. But we have a lot of really neat animals. We just recently got a eland, a black sable, a zebra, and a full-size elk.
Wow!
So the elk is kind of hidden back there, but the zebra, I think, is the most beautiful one.
Yeah! Wow,
You look at it when he's got it set up, and it's like, nice. And then we have other ones that we just have for specific 3D shoots, which are unmarked one-arrow shoots. And this year, something new, we purchased new targets for our 900 round, which are these foam ones here. There's one set up. The old ones are back there. We're going to replace them with this. Those ones back there with the center core, it was really hard to pull the arrows, so we bought new ones that are, it's the same material that the 3D targets are made out of, so it'll make it so it's easy to get the arrows out.
Oh, good.
And this is and it has a replaceable center in there. And so these don't really look really great, but they're good enough for a 3D range, and we send it out there so people at any time can come and shoot. Some of these to put out on the range, and some of the places need targets. And they are a little bit more than $1 a pound. They weigh 550 pounds.
Wow.
We bought enough of them to get the shipping free, and made it pretty good. And this is where we have our targets stored, and when we glue up new targets, we put them here so we can put them out on the walking range The practice range, we have another place that we have some gently used targets that we can put out there. So if anybody goes to the practice range and, oh, that looks terrible, come on, I'll show you where that's at. This is the tool shed. It has the same combination as the front gate, as well as the men's and women's restroom. This is where we have our gently used targets that can be put up for the practice range, and we just keep them here so if somebody needs something they can come down and get them out of here. And we have people bring up cardboard to glue new targets up, and we have some animal targets as well as the spot targets. Shovels and rakes if something needs some attention there. So I encourage people to do that. And this right here, the to-do list, gives us some ideas of what things need to be done. Okay.
So Jim, when people come up here to the archery range, what are some of the rules that they should know?
That they need to make sure they follow safe archery practices, like make sure that there's no one at the target in front of them, and also that you don't take a distance shot at a target that may be where you can't tell where the actual shooting position is. Like if they just happen to see, as an example, if you were to look at this target up here, and you get with your friends and say, I think I can come closest to the center, and you shoot it from here, but you don't know if somebody's up there or not. That's an unsafe thing to do, is shoot a distance shot at a target that you're not sure of. And also, the other safe thing is the 3D range, the targets are not designed to use broadheads, the hunting points, because they cut the targets up really bad. And if you shoot any of the bales or any of those targets with a broadhead, a lot of times you can't get the broadhead back out. So if you leave it in there, then it's a problem where somebody may shoot an arrow into there and damage their arrow, and it could cause it to fracture. Now we have a place, I don't know if you can see it or not, there's a red sign there. That's where the 3D range starts. And to the right of that is there's an area that has some silt that is like sand that you can shoot your broadheads in to practice. So that's a good place to go and practice for your broadheads. And you can get out to 40 yards with at that location. So that's good. That's a good place to practice with it. You can bring your own target up there, or you can shoot into the sand. But that's the only place we allow broadheads to be shot. Okay. We put a deal there to hang a sign to put the rules on, but the sign never got made.
Honey, maybe you could make that sign for them. Okay.
You volunteering him, I like that.
Yes.
The range we're under permit through the Forest Service, so we have to be good stewards of the property. We can't damage things. We can't. We've got to leave the land as it is, and make sure that we don't cause anything that would do damage, like driving vehicles off road, different things like that. The area is pretty much designated. We're under permit for archery activities, but we are allowed camping. The camp facilities, as like these trailers up here, they're on permit to be up here as to be used. It's not a storage facility up here. And all of the trailers have to have a name and a phone number for emergency contact, because if there's a fire here, this is where they're going to stage for the fire. And it's not a matter of when there's a fire, if there's going to be a fire, but when there's going to be a fire. So we're going to be doing some fire mitigation things as well. But for the most part, you can't leave any of the trailers hooked to any utility like water or power or anything like that while you're not here, and have the name in there. And it's expected that you're going to be up here to use it, not to park it here.
And no fires either up here.
Well, the fires are allowed in the common area, but we have been following any guidelines as far as fires from the Forest Service, and right now they're saying no fires in the area because there has been no fire mitigation in this area at all. So if a fire was to start here, it would be a devastating thing.
So please respect that, guys.
Please
And
respect.
follow.
If you're gonna build a fire, you need to have a container that you can have the fire in, and it should be at least 15 feet of barren ground around it to make sure, and you need to make sure that you attend to it at all times.
And picking up after yourselves in the
Yes.
range.
There's no garbage service up here, no trash service, so please take your trash with you. Plan on taking it with you. We have some shoots where we have people that take it down, but that's a huge burden on those people to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So please be respectful of the range. Clean up after yourselves. Pick up. If you see something, say something. Let them know.
Yep. And in the meantime, when we're under this restriction, make sure you keep a social distance and avoid using the clubhouse. But there is sanitizers and disinfectant wipes up there for you to use.
Thank you. Thank you. A lot of these men do this. They're volunteers, so they don't get paid for this. Right, Jim?
Yes. Nobody. There's no paid. Nobody that gets paid up here. It's all volunteer to do all the work up here.
So if you're looking to volunteer and help them out, reach out to Jim. But please be respectful. And when you guys see these guys, tell them thank you. Thank you for their service of coming up here and helping you guys out. So thank you, Jim. Thank you for the video. Thank you of
Okay.
informing us. Hopefully we could get some more members to join us. It is a really beautiful
A
spot.
little ways up here, but it's not bad. It's from the far side of Henderson. It's 40 miles here. It takes me 45 minutes to get here, depending on where you're at.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys are interested in joining, I will leave the information below and contact them. It is such a beautiful place to get away from Vegas, and especially if you guys like to do archery, this is a great place, great people around. They do hold a lot of events. My family has sure enjoyed coming out here and being around everyone. They're just great people to be around. Have a great day, everyone.